What is Materia? It adds additional stats to battle, crafting and gathering gear to enhance your character's performance. Most gear has slots in which a number of materia can be melded into as standard. Materia is currently tiered from 1 to 10. 1 to 6 have increased stat values in a linear fashion. 8 and 10 then increase further, with 10 having the current highest values. Tiers 7 and 9 work a little differently and actually add lower stats than tier 6, but fulfill a slightly different purpose during advanced melding, which we'll touch on later. Materia types differ in which stat they add. This is advised in the Materia's tooltip window, and a quick Google search should get you info on which materia is best for your particular job. Materia Expectations in battle content. While leveling up, there is no expectation to have materia in your gear. At this time, gear is being constantly swapped out for upgrades, so an expectation to be constantly remelding your gear would be ludicrous. The only very niche scenario would be if you want to, for example, pause at level 50 and do high-end level 50 raids in gear synced parties. At max level, things start to change a little, and there's a dependency on the type of content. In dungeons and MSQ trials, again there's no real expectation. It would take a special type of toxic a-hole to grief you, as materia will ultimately never be the reason for a group failing this type of content. Things start to change in extreme and savage content. Personally, I would expect to see all materia slots filled for someone looking to head into an extreme. However, not necessarily current top tier 10s, as there can be a cost attached to this. But currently on my server, a full suite of tier 8 will only cost 5 to 10k, so very accessible. I would suggest never using anything below tier 8 in level 90 gear. If tackling savage content, especially close to release, then it's a reasonable expectation that players come in with gear melded with all 10s. DPS checks start to get a lot tighter here, so dependent on player ability, a full set of 8 players with 0 materia versus fully kitted out in 10s will make a significant difference. And you can't just expect everyone to come equipped and not you. Melding it to your gear. Option 1. Materia Melder NPCs are in most cities and can meld it for you. Pay attention to the bar at the bottom, which will show you the stat gain from the materia. If the number goes red, then you will hit the stat cap after melding and waste potential stats from the materia, generally to be avoided. Option 2. To meld yourself, complete the Waking the Spirit quest in Central Thanalan once you have a single crafter at level 19. Note, you then need a crafter at equal level to the gear you are trying to meld, e.g. you need a level 90 crafter to meld level 90 gear. Option 3. Ask a friend to do it. Advanced Melding, also referred to as Forbidden Melds, Pentamelds or Overmelding. Certain crafted gear which doesn't say Advanced Melding Forbidden enables you to add up to 5 materia even though it only has 1 or 2 slots. This is unlocked by completing the Melding Materia Mutually quest, also in Central Thanalan, and again having a crafting class at level 90 to advance meld level 90 gear. Vendors can't do this, so the only other option is to ask a friend or pay another player to do it for you. The tier of materia you can add here is constrained, and this is where those odd tiers 7 and 9 come into play. You can only meld up to 3 of the tiers 8 and 10 into a piece of gear in total. The final 2 advanced melds have to be with 7 or 9 tiers. Advanced melding is also not a guaranteed success. The chance of successfully melding diminishes as you add more, with the 5th piece typically having a 4 to 8% chance of success, with you losing the materia on failure. So this can become very expensive. Thankfully, outside of groups that are trying to clear all savage content in the first week or 2 of release, there's generally not an expectation to have full pentamelded gear. Transmutation. Unlocked by doing the marvellously mutatable materia quest in Central Thanalan. You can only do this function with the NPC in the camp in Central Thanalan where the quests are given. This enables you to trade 5 materia that you don't want for 1 new random materia. The random materia is guaranteed to be a different materia to the 5 you give, so you can influence the result. Occasionally you can get a materia back which is 1 level or tier above the lowest one which was handed in. Without immense good fortune, it's a bit limited, to be honest. Unless you're sitting on a huge pile of low value materia, I would never suggest trying to transmute tier 9s into tier 10. You'd likely be better off selling the 9s on the market board and buying a 10. Removing materia. You can remove the materia from your gear. Currently you have a 100% chance of removing tier 8 and below. Tier 9 80% and tier 10 a 40% chance. On failure, the materia is destroyed. Obtaining materia. As you use your gear, its spirit bond stat raises to 100%. At this point, you can hit extraction to get a random materia of the same tier as the gear. E.g., level 90 gear gets you tier 9 or tier 10 materia. Then the process starts again from 0%. Make sure to maximise this feature. Dungeons. Mob and chest drops from dungeons align to the dungeon level. E.g., level 90 dungeons drop 9 or 10 materia. Beast Tribe vendors always sell materia for their respective tokens. However, we'll have to wait for the patch 6.1 Beast Tribe to be able to get tier 9 and 10 materia this way. Clusters. Currently, cracked Antheo clusters for tier 10 and cracked Dentrio clusters for tier 9 materia can be traded with materia vendors, e.g. next to the Materia Melder in Razatan. Among other activities, clusters can be obtained via duty roulette roll bonuses and A and S rank hunts. I've yielded 15 plus tier 10 clusters in a single hunt train before, making for an extremely profitable couple of hours. Also with hunts, the nuts currency from hunts can be traded for more materia. Hunts are fantastic for getting materia. The market board. If you've guild to burn, then materia can easily be brought from the marketplace, but try to buy in the lulls between the launch of new raid tiers as prices skyrocket during these times. In general, think about hoarding your unneeded tier 9 and tier 10 materia to sell for huge gain when the next raid tier launches. Feel free to comment with any other top ways of acquiring materia. Like and subscribe to complete the duty.